Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
So, Rebelli, I'm walking around in the show over here in America, and look who I meet.
Shalom Aleichem. My name is Moshe Schmelzer. I've been doing the Daf for a year. I came to a powwow show. Last year they had an MPY booth at the powwow show, free Gemaras. Took one home, I'll try it. Signed up, and a year later, Baruch Hashem, Menachas, smacking away.
Okay, because basically I got a message from the first guy, Itzik, and he explained to me that I said, when is Lipa? Somebody should get Lipa to start the Daf. So his son said, you know what, I'll start. So he's doing it for a year. It just so happened to me, I was showing this more to the Israeli. So this is a good chaver of mine. I met him today. It's not about the color, it's about the team. I have a saying that I like to say, it's not about the daf, it's about the yomi. And it's not that, it's about the yomi, doing it every single day. So the color war and Mapat Shemesh, they use that saying, it's not about the color, it's about the team. This is the light within the dark. Ari Leib from Beitar doesn't, what is it?
Ari Leib Spurka.
In Eretz Yisrael, the Chevra are mamish on fire, and they have a thing, Zirut Lolipol Mahadaf. Be careful during Ben Azman, don't fall off, and they're putting stickers everywhere. They made a whole matzav. This is in a tzimmer up north. They're doing the daf in Ben Azman. All ages, all types of Eden. 90-year-olds, we have a 98-year-old. This is real. In a highway in Eretz Yisrael, they put the sticker on the car. Zero Lolipol Madaf. Third car. This is Noam Frey in Austria, 10 years old. He's doing the daf since Sanhedrin. 1.5 years, a 10-year-old doing the daf every single day. I don't think he knows that they're taking the video, to tell you the truth. Austria, another person on the Shaiki Greenbaum doing the daf. This is Ishayo Hamburger. They're all showing me that they're doing the daf by the Hermon. Oh, Rabbi Isai, I received a few videos and some of them from Meyer Fischel, who on Tisha B'Av went to Camp Simcha. I don't know how you do this, Meyer, but there's a kid there with the machla, a Hasidic kid. What's his name?
Tzvi Blau.
Tzvi Blau, and he does good morning, Rabbi Isai. Here we go.
Good morning, Camp Simcha. Rido. Good morning, Camp Simcha.
Yeah, it's on.
Why?
Didn't go
Yeah, no, I'm not going back. Okay. All right, Rabbi Isai. The official edition of the White Shah. So many of you have the blue Gemara in front of you. This is the Meyer Fischel. He's here with us. It's one of our big projects. We do a lot of projects. We're trying to do the entire Shas. We started a few seconds ago, and it's a special Gemara because it's a very easy translation, very good, very clear, and easy to learn. And Be'ez Hashem, the new Gemara coming up, is going to have on every single Amud is going to have at least a picture or two. It's a game changer. Every daf has a QR code. You can go in and see the videos, the shiur, the thing. It's a new product, and we're very, very proud of it. So Yishkoach Reb Fischel, Reb Meyer Fischel, the Masechta, and every Masechta has a sponsor. Zevin Yal Shulov. Every parak has a Masechta dedicated by the Benedict family. Daf Tzad Zayin, YM and Rezi Shapiro, the Nishmas Reb Shain Naftali Ben Reb Tzvi Yaakov HaKoyin, a desk. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salman, dedicated in memory of Avimari. This is not the Gemara, this is the Masechta. The Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzidov Zechron Levrach. The Palchik Family Foundation, here he is. May our limit our Torah during the Ben Azman and bring us closer to Yimei Geula V'Simcha Yishkoyach. Beautiful. Anonymous. Hatzlacha Hefta sponsors are here in the room. Hatzlacha Beruchim Zivagashmis, and thank you to Chief Benny. It's from Satmar Chusim. Anonymous, for complete refuah shleim and arichas yom to Leah Bas Esther. Chaim and Leah Levy. In honor of the MDY family. Shkot for having us here. Anybody else? Maybe Anonymous is here. Anonymous, for my birthday is the schus v'atzlacha of my family, Ruchni Abdigashmi. Arya Simon is here. What's the wrong one? The Refuah Shlema B'Moiri Baruch Ben Miriam.
It's a different one, not the wrong one.
The Tzvi's Refuah Shlema to Rivka Naomi Bat Salisheva Batya. The Muncie MDY firefighters. By the way, we have how many firefighters to do the daf with us?
Wow. I was there. There's a lot of firefighters.
8?
No.
So unfortunately, you probably heard because you live in Muncie. The Nishmas, our unforgettable chief Chaim Gavriel Ben Ari Yoel Jacobson. Shulchan Aruch is only 47,
46.
46 years old. And the Shom should have an aliyah. Weekly sponsors, Spanish shiur sponsors. Refuah Shlema to our dear friend of shiur B'Espanol, the consortium, the Nishmas of Rav Yaakov and Ruben Alevi, Shulchan Aruch, the father of Brad Chaim Levin. Monthly innovations of the Siyas, the schools by Akir Simcha Ben Fega, and Rav Yehudis B'Siyaf Chai and our kids to Givaldi. Okay. Oh, why is this big? I can't see it. Daily sponsors.
Let me go back.
It jumped. Usually, no. I see it says Mark Ashkenazi in there.
Hold on a second.
There's going to be a lot of editing today. Let me just read it.
Go for it.
Mark Ashkenazi, this was my father, Reb Chaim ben Reb Elazar. Today's his yard site?
Tonight.
You didn't tell me. I was here, that means a year ago, in Muncie,
In
Menachem Owen.
Lakewood, yeah.
Oh, it's Lakewood. I don't know.
Yeah, when you came.
So is that his name, Reb Chaim ben Reb
Better
Elazar?
Elazar, yeah.
On his first yard site, and Shom should have an Aliyah. He's very, very
Amen.
proud of you, Mark. Mark Ashkenazi, your boy said the amount of hours and time that he puts into the shiur is unbelievable. Because Shom should have an Aliyah. Wow, it's a whole year already. Anonymous. Lilul Shad Mordor Yisrael Moshe Ben. I can't read the rest. I hope I didn't miss a name
We'll
over
fix
there.
it. Give me a minute. We'll fix it.
Okay, meanwhile,
Keep
we
going.
have to get going.
MDY Art.
Anyway, Art, Stephen Stern, in memory of Julie Stern, Yaakov and Shlomo Month, for Shlomo Mordechai Ben Esther, Refus Hayela, Daniel Zev, Ben Ayel Deser, Aboisai. Finally, the longest introduction. The whole world is not going to see the whole introduction. They're just going to see the email part. This is probably the longest introduction of all time. Rabbi said, very fascinating sugya. This is a sugya that is very, very important in the Gela Maisa. Things that happen to us on a daily basis. When a fly falls into your food, are you allowed to take it out and eat the rest of the food? A lot of different questions that occur on a daily basis in Issa V'Heter and eating. And we're going to make it very easy in Geshmak. Omer Shmuel. We're talking about the Gid HaNasha. The Gid HaNasha is the sciatic nerve. The Gid HaNasha is a... I don't know if I have the video, because all you new guys, you weren't here yesterday. So I don't really have that video. Maybe if you want, you could pull that video of Amitai Ben David, throw it in, I'll show you in a second. I call upon him. It's a white nerve, like a tendon, looks like a tendon, it's a nerve. And it goes from top to bottom on the thigh, the rear end, the rear leg of the animal. It goes from top to bottom. And this Gid HaNasha we can't eat, because when Yaakov Avinu struggled with the Malach hit him the Gid HaNasha. Al Kain lo yochlu b'nei Yisrael's Gid HaNasha. We can't eat the Gid HaNasha. In fact, the Shaila, what happens if you put the thigh into a pot, you make a chullin, you make a roast, your wife makes a roast, and they forgot to take the Gid HaNasha out. Well, you're going to throw out this $200 roast? How much does such a thing cost? You probably don't sell it, because it's the rear. You sell, you don't sell? Not really. But there are a lot of people who do nikur, they do not arbitrage.
Traber.
I can't get the word so. Trabering. They do nikur, they do trabering, they take out the sciatic nerve, and you could eat it. But what if you cooked it? It's already cooked in a pot that sat there for 2 hours cooking with the sciatic nerve. Now what do? What do you do? So the Mishnah tells us, it depends. If there's enough sciatic nerve to give flavor to the rest of the meat, you got to throw it out. If it doesn't give flavor, you don't have to throw it out. The Mishnah says an interesting thing. It's like, The amount of meat, the amount of sciatic nerve would be the amount of meat together with a turnip. In other words, how do you give flavor to a turnip? Let's say you have a turnip that's 10 pounds. 1 pound of meat gives flavor to 10 pounds of turnip. So Mamela, 1 pound of sciatic nerve gives flavor to 10 pounds of meat. That's halacha l'mishum sinai. Because Baruch told Moshe Rabbeinu, turnip and meat. That's what he told him. Today we know it more as bata b'shishim kind of thing. We have an easier way. We're not going to do turnips or not. Bata b'shishim more or less. So says Shmuel. Here's a question, Rabbi. Here's a question. Mashiach is going to come tomorrow, and we're going to bring a korban pesach. Korban pesach, we know, you don't have to start cutting it up. You have to put the whole thing on a skewer and roast it. What about the sciatic nerve? Sciatic nerve is inside the korban pesach. It's going to ruin the whole korban pesach. No? So the Rambam says, Taka, you got to take it out. But look what the Gemara says. This that the sciatic nerve, the Gidan Nosha ruins it, is because you cooked it, you made it chont. But if, yeah, you hear? What is the sound good? Okay. But if you roast it, you don't cook it, it's not a problem. Why? What's the logic? Because when you cook something, the flavor comes out into the pot. I don't have to tell you. Roasting, it closes it in. It shuts it down. And what? The preserve is not a good word. We need a better word. It locks it in. It locks the flavor in. It locks the whole thing in. So this gida nosha that's also doesn't seep out into the pot. The when you sear it, you roast it. You know, like people make a steak. How do you make a steak? I heard. I'm not a mumcha, so tell me if I'm wrong. You put it on like for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and then you flip it over. Yeah? Yeah, Baruch, tell me how you do it. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. But why 1 minute? Because you're locking it in, and then you flip it over, you lock it in, and all the juices get stuck inside. That's roasting. That's not cooking. That's like roasting. Grill is like roasting. So when you roast, says this is Shmuel's chiddush. When you roast it, you don't have to worry about the juices of the nerve going into the chont. Fragdi Gemara. Eini. It's interesting, you know. We're talking about flavor, giving flavor. How does the Gemara call giving flavor? You know how to say it? Huh? Nois and tam. Nun tes. That's the daf that you started on. But also, you could use this as a siman. Nun tes is 59. How many times do you need more? One piece of asr. And how many pieces of mutter do you need to ruin it? To overcome it? 60. Nun tes, nois and tam, is bad. It gives the flavor. But more than nun tes, samach is already okay. V'chaim, nun tes, daf nun tes. You'll never forget it. It's the daf of your life. Okay. Like you said about Ramey Shapiro. Today, what day is it? It's 35 days into... A guy got up in Austria. You weren't there. He got up in Austria. The guy that sells glasses. What's his name? Oy vey. Shmulik Kleiner. He got up and he said, I'm 3 years old today. What's that? He says, I'm 57, but I'm 3 years old. I started the daf 3 years ago. That's how old I am. That's when my life started. You guys know Shmulik Kleiner? All right. So, Eini, V'omer Rav Huna, we're holding 2 lines from the bottom of Tzadik Vav on the base. V'omer Rav Huna, Gedish et sloi b'chelboi. If you have a goat that you roasted with its fat, it's so asr, you can't eat any of the goat. Nothing, not even the ear. No, you just told me that if you roast it, you lock it in. Now you're telling me that if you roast it, it becomes asr. What's going on here? Shani chaylev d'mifapeya. You know why? Because what's chaylev? Chaylev is fat. That white, I'm going to show you here. So this is chaylev shemifapeya. You see those juices coming down? That red means it's saucer. We do red because the juices, the fat is oil. oil goes everywhere. We're talking about a gid anosha. So for you, because there's a bunch of new people, I'm going to show you this, even though I showed it yesterday. Maybe I'll zoom, I'll go to another place. We did this live in our base, next day I was mentioning.
הצועים מסגידים שהראינו מקודם זה שרירים. הגיד הנושה זה עצבים.
It's nerves, not muscle.
שבא מחוט השדרה ויורד לאורך הירך.
Oy vey, why is that still on there? Okay.
הנה הגיד הנושה הזה, הנה הוא לפנינו, שעליו הגמרא אומרת שרק הגיד הפנימי, שהוא שוכב.
Okay, but you guys see that string?
זה הכף,
The kaf hayorech. Okay. It was beautiful what he did. Okay. That string is what we're talking about. That's the perigid anosha. That's the top. That's what we're learning. So the Gemara says in Afkimina, that gid, that white string, doesn't have a lot of flavor. It doesn't go everywhere. It's like a bone. It's like it's a nerve. But when you're talking about chaylev, you're talking about fat. It goes everywhere. Ask the Gemara, Daf Tzadik Zayin Amud Aleph on the top. Ubechaylev also, or what? You tell me if this fat, it's also V'Omer Rabbi Bar Bachana. Maisa, the Rabbi says a story. In the middle of all this. There was a story in the shul in Ma'oin, Bigdish et Sloi Bechelbay, Mamish, our story. There was a goat that they roasted it with all the fats. V'asu v'shaylu Rabbi Yochanan, they asked Rabbi Yochanan what to do. V'amar koilev v'oichel at shemagia lechelbay. Not a problem. It's not also to eat. It's mutter to eat. No, what's going on there? We asked you a question about gid anosha. You said no. Gid anosha is not a problem. If you roasted, fat is a problem. And then I asked you a question. I said, but Rabbi Yochanan said fat is not a problem. Keep on eating with the fat. You roast it with fat, eat it. No, what's going on? So we have a number of answers. Answer number one. Here's all three answers in one shot. Just schmack what he did here. It's a little skinny animal. It's so skinny that its fat is garnished. It doesn't have all this fat. See? So it's green. That's answer number one. Answer number two is that we're talking about the fat inside a kidney. Now I'm going to show you a gewaldig, a beautiful. We have a shaykhid. His name is Rabbi Avram Weisvish, big Talmid Chacham, long beard, lives in Manchester. He sends us great stuff. Nobody has this stuff. And then, I sound like Trump. Nobody has this. This is the best, the greatest. The third shot is that we're talking about a treif of fish. You see this tummy fish inside? That got mixed in with a bunch of other fish. And what you do is you ask a goy to taste it, because you're not going to taste it. Because what if it tastes like a treif of fish? Then you just say treif. You ask the goy to taste it. If he doesn't taste the treif of fish, then you're allowed to eat it. So that's a good trick. That's a trick that the Gemara is going to talk about, that you can bring a goy into the story. Because since when do we trust the goy for anything? Okay. So teretz number one, which is like 5 lines from the top. Ahu kochoshava. You see all the way to the right side. I'm not going to show you. Maybe I will show you the videos again. This is the skinny guy. Okay. This is teretz number one. It's a very skinny animal. Saltish can fat. It doesn't have any fat on it. Kochoshava. I got to show you this video. This is murder. You might get a little grossed out, but it's kedai. What you're going to see here is, this is the kidney. On top of the kidney is in a pocket. HaKadosh Baruch Hu did it so beautifully. There's a kidney, but it's protected, because if the animal gets a zetz, a human being gets a punch, Hashem put like a giant thick piece of fat around it. But what he's going to show you, and this is very important, between the kidney and the fat, there's a plastic bag. Not a plastic bag, we call it a membrane. Okay, it's like a plastic bag. And Memela, says the Gemara, when you cook this fat, it can't go into the kidney. There's a thin layer, this thin. They have it on the brain. There's certain parts of the animal that have a membrane. Humans also. And he's going to show you here exactly how you get to it.
רואים פה את הקרום העליון,
This is the upper membrane that he's going to cut through. Boom. He cut the first plastic bag. Look how much it's protected, so much, this thick. Now what you're seeing is, that's the kidney. That's the plastic bag. That's a little membrane. So that's the Gemara's teretz. You take this fat and you cook the whole goat, but nothing happens to we're only talking about the kidney. The kidney is not going to be affected because it has a protector called a krum. Yeah? It's a geschmack video. I mean, sometimes you learn this stuff and it's just like, you kind of know what it says, but you don't know. Now you see it. There's nothing like seeing it. Why? Because of the Rashi says, from the mafsik krama, this membrane stops it. Okay. Final teretz, Ravin varavado amar kilkilis bilfos hava. So I showed you this. This is the kuli one, but look at the last one. A tummy fish fell into a pot full of tuna or whatever, kosher fish. They asked Rabbi Yochanan what to do. Go give it to a professional, to a chef, an Armenian. In other words, a guy. So let me ask you something. Since when do we trust a guy? Trust a guy that tastes like this? He's going to lie to you. Any guy that sees a Jew, it happened to me a few times, taste the burger, the cheese, it's good for you. Rabbi, I promise you, it's good, it tastes good. Yeah. So Rashi says, very good. It's Mesiach Lefi Tumai. You don't tell him, oh, I'm Jewish and I have a problem, I don't know. You say, hey, you want to taste something good? Taste. And then you say, no, what does it taste like? And if he says, oh, it tastes like swordfish, it tastes like a dolphin, so now you know that your tuna is not good. Your tuna has a problem. We're Stefanskys. The Stefanskys, they always used to call everywhere when I was a kid. You related to Dagim tuna? Yeah. Today, they said, one of the Stefanskys wrote to me an email and he said, thank you for taking us from tuna to Torah. Because now people ask me, are you related to Eli Stefansky? It's much better than the tuna fish. I'm sorry, the tuna guys, sorry. I love you, but tuna, it's enough. We had enough of the tuna. No, so what was the claim to fame? Dagim tuna. So we don't have dolphins. We're makbid. We don't, because regular tuna, whatever comes in the net, comes in the net. A shtickle swordfish, when you're catching these tunas, they're huge, the size of this table. So sometimes a little dolphin comes in, a little this, chop it up in the factory, nobody knows the difference. No, we don't have it. If the guy doesn't taste it, it's mutter. But this is a huge chiddush. Rabbi said this is a massive chiddush. That you could be soibach on a guy, it's crazy. Omarava. So based on this chiddush, Mereish, yes, 6 lines in the bottom. Mereish have a kashili hodetanya. In the beginning, I had a problem. Imagine if you have a pot of chont. Your wife just made a chont, and you want to make a pasta matzah Shabbos from Malav Malki. You want to make a milchike pasta in the pot of chont. You allowed to? No, you're not allowed to. But if you didn't listen to the halacha and you did it, if you could taste geschmack pasta with a little bit of a chont flavor in there, then it's treif. Then it's no good. Now listen to this. Truma le'yivashel b'chulin v'bishel b'noisen tam. What's truma? Truma is the food that only a kohen could eat. It's a gift. We give the kohen how much percent? The Olam knows there? How much percent do you give a kohen? Why only you're answering? 2%.
Is he a kohen?
By the way, I have to say, Shlomo, what's your name again? Stevie, what's your Eisenberg? This is your last day in Gullus, in America, and you're making Aliyah tomorrow. It should go well. How old are your kids? Not married. You signed up.
Before I came to this year, I said I have to sign up. Otherwise,
and she's going to slap you back to America. You know how it works. You're going to land in Eretz Yisrael, you're going to get the shidduch, and she's here in America. That's how it works. I mean, it's just all right, I wish you well over there. Yivaldik. Okay. Stevie's a very geschmack guy. He's a good-looking guy. Maybe somebody has a good shidduch for him. Hold on. Let's turn the camera around to him. Here, Stevie. Say Shalom Aleichem. You have a job over there, the whole thing?
Yeah.
What do you do?
3 jobs.
3 jobs.
You're not Israeli until you get 3 jobs, right?
Very good. Okay, Zog the Gemara. So listen to this. He says, Rav, I have a big problem. So let's just do this about peh. If you have a problem food, who's going to taste it? If it tastes like kosher, it's kosher. If it tastes like treif, it's treif. But who's tasting it? You. You know that. And if it tastes like treif, you just ate treif. So what's the answer? The guy. He says, Rav, I didn't know this. This is the answer. I just found out today that a guy could do it. Because Rav thought to himself, how could I trust a guy? Can't trust the guy. Stop for you guys. I said this ma'isa. Maybe you didn't hear this yet. So I'll tell you this ma'isa. My father loved telling me this ma'isa. So a guy in Muncie, his lights were out on Shabbos, so he didn't know what to do. He needed a Shabbos guy. So he goes outside. He's waiting. Nachayid. Finally, a guy with all the tattoos, the whole zach, mamash, a goy, the raisa. He says, "Excuse me, sir. Yeah." He says, "I got a problem in my house. Could you come in and help me out?" He says, "Sure." He says, "What's the problem?" He says, "You see the." He says, "Yeah, I see." He says, very nice. So what's the problem? He says, "Look, I'm Jewish and I'm not allowed to turn on the light." Oh, so interesting. You can't turn on the light? He says, "No, I can't turn on the light." Oh, okay, very nice. It's very nice meeting you. Yeah, but you could turn on the light. And he says, "Yeah, I could turn on the light. Yeah, it's true. I could turn on the light and farik the guy, versteht gar nicht. Yeah, listen, I have to make a suda over here and I need lights and I can't turn on the light." He says, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. So finally the guy says, "Listen, push that button. Just push the button." The guy says, "Amir el-Akamus." Yeah. Zog the Gemara. Of my time. Oh, so here. So Rav asked the question, Truma, what's going on with Truma? Truma is just regular fruit. Just it's 2% that you're supposed to give the kohen, and only a kohen can eat it. You, Yisrael, can't eat it. What if you cook Truma together with Chullin, which is regular food? You got a problem. If you're Yisrael, you can't eat it because it has a little Truma in it. Truma le'yavasha b'Chullin, v'im bishel, and if you did cook it, b'nois and tam. So we have two cases. We have the case of basar b'chalav, which no yid could eat, not even a kohen. And then we have the case of Truma, that Truma got mixed with Chullin, but Kohanim could eat it, and Yisrael can't eat it. So, Beishlam Trum time LaKoyin, I want to know if a Yisrael could eat it. So who's going to taste it? I have a tasting guy. I asked the Kohen to taste it for me. And if he says it doesn't taste like Truma, so then Yisrael could eat it. If he says it tastes like Truma, then Yisrael can eat it. But Elabasa b'chalav man time lai. But who's gonna taste the basa b'chalav? No yid could taste it, because what if it does taste like basar? Now you got a problem. You just ate treif. Says Gemara, but now that Rabbi Yochanan told me this chiddush, that I could trust a chef, a goyish chef that has a good tongue, he knows what he's tasting. So too, when I have a problem with basa b'chalav, I cooked pasta in my cholent bowl. I want to know if the meat from the cholent pot went into my pasta. So I ask a guy to taste it. And if he says it doesn't taste like meat, I say, "No, what do you think about my wife's new recipe?" He says, "Oh, very good, very good. What does it taste like?" It tastes like regular pasta. Does it have a hint of meat? No. Oh, so now I know I could eat it. But that I needed Rabbi Yochanan to tell me this chiddush. This is very gishmak. Seriously. Because you're going to go away tonight. I don't know how much you're going to remember, how much not. But you'll know one or two musagim that you didn't know yesterday, and that's all we need today. That's it. What's going on here? We have a Givaldic video, just in case you didn't understand the word we said. Where was it? Oh, here we go. There are three things that you check. There are three things to check if something is treif or not. One is called tam. One is the flavor. One is kapila. What's kapila? We just said. What's kapila? The tasting of the chef. And then we have the final thing of batul b'shishim. So let me just show you the video first. Truma fell in to a pot of chulin. So what do? A kohen can taste it. A kohen's allowed to taste it. Great. When do you use a chef? A goyish chef? Something that a yid is not allowed to taste. When the milk fell into the chong pot. So now I need a goy to taste it. Yishmak. And when do I use batal b'shishim? When a truma carrot falls into chullin carrot. Now nobody can taste it. Who's gonna taste it? It tastes the same. So now I have 60 carrots to 1 carrot, then it's okay. So these are the 3 things that we're learning. Zog the Gemara, Hilkoch. Top line in Tzadik Zayin Omid Beis. Hilkoch. Min b'sheni minoi. If it's too, this is scary words, no? You have people have trauma from these words. Min b'sheni basically just means like basar b'chalav, 2 different types of food, milk and meat. The hetera, but when it comes to chulin and truma, it's mutter. It's not a basar b'chalav. A kohen could eat it. B'taima. So then you do this guy. I don't know if you guys want to hear the song again. I'm not so in the mood. Where can I get it without? This is Tamazar. This is a promo video that we did for Chullin. So I'll show. This AI stuff is unbelievable. A drop of milk goes into the chong. What do you do when it doesn't go well in the yeshiva? MDY. Good morning, Rabbi Sai. So you have something like this. It looks like it's closed, the bottle of milk, but the Rabbi said you can still pour out of it. It's not a problem. If you pour milk into the chong, bring the daf to life with Maseches Chullin. Yeah, it wasn't me. Okay, so let's do this thing again. One more time. The timer. When do you use the flavor? When do you taste it? When it's min b'shei v'min, 2 types of food, but they're both mutter. But one is chulin, one is truma. You bring a kohen can taste it. Good. When do you use a chef? When it's awesome for you to eat it. When it's basar and chalav. Min b'shei v'min. Basar, chalav, and nobody can taste it but a goy. And when do you use batal b'shishim? Okay, I ruined it. But you get it. You get the idea. It's a carrot that's truma that falls in the carrots that are chulin, and nobody can taste it because they taste the same. So you count. You see, it's the 60 against the 1 of truma. Very good. Zog the Gemara, what? Oh, the sponsor. We do sponsors at Turning of the Daf. I have exciting news here also. Hold on. No, not this one. Turning of the Daf. Adar Global and Schus of Mati, Tamati, and the MDY Shidduch team may all turn the page to a new chapter soon. He's referring to the new project that we have for Shidduchim. I'll tell you in a second. Encore Healthcare as a Schus for Klal Yisrael, mdy.com/Shidduch. Listen to this. 2 weeks ago, a guy by the name of Mati Belsky called me up. He said, I did something on AI to help Shidduchim. Okay? He tells me this thing. I say, okay, it's Mati Belsky, he's a good friend of mine. He says, you put your resume in there, and the girl puts her resume, the boy puts his resume, and as long as they don't go in here. Yeah. The kitzer, and then he tells me AI is going to figure out if it's a shidduch or not. You hear this? AI is going to figure out if it's a shidduch. You see if it matches. And if it does, it sends it to the boy, to the girl, and they click. Yes, no, no, yes. You Hasidim are looking at me like I'm a Meshigah. But I'm going to surprise you in a second. The kitzer, if the boy wants it and the girl wants it, then it goes to a shadchan. Then you have a real shadchan reading it. And it's very, very private. Nobody sees anybody's resume. Nobody knows anything. They give you ideas. AI sends you an email. Here, what do you think about this boy? Mamish looks like it's tzike past. Boom, boom. So I thought to myself, how many people are going to put a resume? He's starting. It's going to take a long time. 10 people, 20 people. But why would I put my resume if nobody else put it? So the first 3, like, what are they doing? Lamaisa, 2 weeks went by. That's it, 2 weeks. 1,500 resumes, including, what's your name again? Stevie, put his up. Over 70 matches, and I think 12 people are going out now. Going out. 12 couples. 24 people in 2 weeks. So Kitzur, it has, what I'm trying to say is that you can come with good ideas to help Yidden, and obviously we're not making any money on it. We're pushing it because we think, and Moti Belsky is promising $10,000 to the first couple that gets engaged or married. We have to figure that one out. And Be'ez Hashem, we're going to hear Psuras Tevas, including Stevie. Shkoyach. Yeah, upload your resume. That's the idea. Upload your resume. Shlomi Daskel from Muncie sent me this picture of his goita who put a pizza bagel in the cholent pot on purpose because she loves pizza bagels and she loves cholent. And she figured it would be a great shidduch. AI wouldn't agree to that shidduch. So what do? So I'm saying you could ask a guy to taste it, and if it tastes, you say, what special ingredient do you taste? He said, no, I taste mamish. It tastes like all the cholents I ever had in my life, the guy tells you. If he tells you, oh, there's a little bit of a, if he's one, it has to be like a French chef. It's this capilla, it's like a professional. A hint of mozzarella cheese. Oh, so you know it's a problem. Okay. We did this. Did I read it? I didn't even know. I'll just read it again. Hilkoch, min b'sheini mina de'ateri b'taima. You taste it. The surah b'kapilo, if it's min b'sheini minoi, that is basa b'chalav, you give it to a chef. Or min b'minoi, 2 types of carrots, but one is truma, one is chulin. The lekela make a mataima. You can't figure out the flavor because they all taste the same. Inami min b'sheini minoi, or even let's say basa b'chalav, a cholent with some milk. The isur, the leke kapila, and there's no good chef around, and you live in Muncie, and there's only Yidden. Bishish, and then you use bottle bishish. Says the Gemara story, Hanu at Mahasadim lichu bei Reish Gulusa. Reish Galus, the head of the nation, very wealthy person, he had geshmaka thighs, and these thighs were salted. Now here's the question. We said if a thigh is cooked, if you cook a thigh with the Gidah Nosha, what's the halacha? It's a big problem. If you can taste it, no good. What if you didn't cook it? You put salt on it. Is salt like cooking? So says the Gemara, Mar bar Ravashi. They asked Mar, the son of Ravashi. Omerlu Abba Shari. So who's Mar bar Ravashi's father? Ravashi. The famous Ravashi who wrote the Gemara. He authored the Gemara. Ravina Ravashi wrote the Gemara. He says, my father said it's no good. Oh, sorry, it's good. Omerlu Abba Shari, it's good. You see, the item was paying attention. Omerlu Ravacha barav l'Ravina. My daitach. So let me just say it again. Ravina Osar. Ravina said it's Osar. Ravacha bar Ravashi Shari. Ravacha the name said it's Mutter. Osar Sheilu Mar bar Ravashi Omerlu Abba Shari. My father said it's okay. Omer Ravacha bar Rav Ravina. Ravina is the one that said that if you salt it, it's no good. My daitach. What's the reasoning? Shmuel Meliach Hareu Kireteach. Kavush Hareu Kimevushel. Very simple. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any videos. Let's stickle out of, since I'm traveling a lot today. So not everything is perfect in the right place. Okay. So you see this piece of meat on the right? What is that? That's salted. What halacha does salt have? It's like boiled. What does boiled mean? Cooked, not cooked? So I'll tell you. Here, look at the next case. If you put meat in water, it becomes kavush, becomes pickled, and it has a halacha of mevushel. So now let me ask you something. If I put salt on a piece of meat, what halacha does it have? Is it cooked? How do you know? Because it doesn't say mevushel. It says a different word. It says riteach. If putting salt on a piece of meat has the same halacha as cooking, so just say cooking equals cooking. On kavush, it says it's cooking, not on meliach. So that's a raya that our case, what happened in our case? He put salt on the thigh. It's a raya that's not cooked. It doesn't have a problem of being cooked. You hear Chaim? So Stop and say, you got to tell you, people are, the Machlokes Rishonim, the Rosh says putting lettuce in water overnight is pickling it. So that's why a lot of people are makbid on Pesach. You wash your lettuce. Well, you guys, you eat charaisis, the other stuff. No, I go like this because when we learned the sugya, we had a hard time. The Mishnah says that romaine lettuce is the number one maror. But Hasidim are very makbid on the, what do you call it? The chrain. So we had a big problem. Why? And then it came out that the reason is that this is how we figured out. But it's a Mishnah. You can't argue this. Shulchan Aruch says number one is romaine lettuce, the stuff that is not bitter at all. And they go and they make the Mishnah and they cry and the whole thing. Why? Because in Europe they didn't have romaine lettuce. It was the middle of the they didn't have romaine lettuce, so it became a minig. And once it became a minig, that's it. Minig of Hashem Daini, and that was the only pshat that we had. That's Hasidim told me this pshat. I'm not could be I'm wrong. I call part of this romaine lettuce. Ask me if one person out of the 20,000 Hasidim that we have in the shiur changes minig to eat romaine lettuce from the shiur. Zero. It's not important. Whatever. We had a kash, we had a terrace. Invite the Gigamian. Next. So, Avi do what? What did he say? Anyways, before the shiur. Okay, but I'm saying they weren't. I didn't ruin anybody. That's what I'm trying to say. Where are we? When you salt something, it's like boiling it. In other words, it's not so much cooking it. Says the Gemara of Amar Shmuel. No, not really. Plain water. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said people are makbid on Pesach not to soak it in plain water and leave it. You dry off the lettuce because otherwise it becomes kavush and you're eating romaine lettuce. That's kavush. I hear. That's the mitzias. You're saying you tried it on a meat and it doesn't work. I hear. Maybe with some other spice, not salt, because once you salt, then it's something completely different. Or maybe it is salt with water. Salt water. I hear. Okay.
Plain water doesn't do anything.
Here, Rashi says, kavush b'choimetz v'tavlin, not in salt, in vinegar and spices.
Spices mean salt also.
This salt, because salt then will be the other thing, I think.
Spices, not lafuka salt.
B'derech klal not, but in this case, because it says meliach, I'm going to say that the spices means not. Because otherwise, it's meliach and meliach. What do you gain? It's two meliachs.
Because the water makes the chiluk.
You mean it's more than meliach alone? I hear.
The meliach together with
I got it. I hear what you're saying. I hear. I'm not arguing. I'm saying maybe it could be different. Remember, we started off the shiur. Shmuel says that the whole mission of Gidan Nasha, of ruining the rest of the meat, that I cooked in it. If it was roasted, and I told you then about the korban Pesach, all you do is cut it off and you eat it, just don't eat the Gidan Nasha. So Mela, you see, Shmuel says, in order for the Gidan Nasha to be a problem, it has to be cooked. Not cooked is not a problem. So Mela, Reiteach is not a problem. Only Mevushal is a problem. But what are you going to tell me? That maybe Reiteach means cooked. And that the Gemara says it can't be, because if you look at this chart, you don't have to look at the chart, it's obvious. Once the Gemara mentions the word Mevushal, so the other one should have said Mevushal. Why are you calling it Reiteach? Reiteach means something different than Mevushal. Only Mevushal is a problem, Reiteach is not a problem. Obviously, he meant to say that Meliach is not Mevushal. Otherwise, he would have said Meliach equals Mevushal, Kavush equals Mevushal. Or easier, he would have said Meliach and Kavush equal Mevushal. Why does he stick in a word that's different than Mevushal and he calls it Reiteach? Obviously, it's different. Kasha. Fine. Omer Rav Chanina, how many minutes are we? I don't have a clock here. 45. Okay, we're doing okay. Omer Rav Chanina, how's it going? Rabbi say it's okay? The shiur's okay? Because it's a hard sugi. You should know this sugi to do without these pictures. You go mishiga. No, he's in town, this, that, yeah? Okay. Zog the Gemara. Omer Rav Chanina, Kashaim Misharin, when they try to figure out if something's batal b'roiv, it's a good kasha. Think about it. You have a chont. One piece of meat this big fell into your pat of chont. So now the Rav tells you, check if it's 60 times. What? The bebelch also? The potatoes? The meat? What? What's 60 times? I have a piece of meat that fell in it. Treif, chazer, fell and poof. Now, 60 what? I'm going to take out 60 pieces of meat, or could I use potatoes also? If I can use potatoes, can I use beans also? Yeah. What about the gravy? What about the soup in the chont? And now, a bigger question. What about the pot? Chiddush. That's why I asked you, because you're saying no. Because if I would have read it, you said, okay, yeah, if I did, now you're thinking about it. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Says the Gemara, Kishay Misharim Beroitev with the gravy, Uba Kefa, Uba Chatichos, all the small things that fall to the bottom, and the big pieces, Uba Gdeira with the pot. So now we have two pirushim in it. What does pot mean? Because pot it almost doesn't make sense. Yeah, if the pot weighs, it's like it doesn't go by weight, it goes by volume. So let's say it's the volume of, give me a number, I don't know. The whole pot, the whole metal and everything is like this volume. So it adds up to part of the chont, to the kosher chont. That's one shot. No, you can't use the metal, but you could use the blias. What's the blia? What it absorbed. So you start off the chont with a liter of chont, and then you open up the pot. Now you have 3/4 of a liter. What happened to the other liter, the quarter? Some of it went into the walls. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to say, no, I have a whole liter of chont now against that one piece of chazer, the one piece of, I don't want to call it chazer, the one piece of nevela, and you have 60. Why? Because in the pot, there's something that got absorbed in there. I'm not using the metal. I'm using the chont that's in the walls of the pot.
Chont is not in the walls, the taste is in the walls.
No, the water goes into the walls. Physical.
The water goes into the
Yeah, not our pot. Not our pot. You're thinking in your pot in 2026. The time of the Gemara's pot, it was porous. It used to go in. So, and in our pot also, a little something goes in there. I don't know what, the mashu, but not enough to make a difference here. When you're talking about blood, you're talking about all these surim in the Torah. If I want to taste it, I want to know if it has the taste. It's nice and time, not nice and time. I have to use these two fruits and vegetables. I can't use an apple, which is sweet. I'm going to use something in the middle. Mama's just recently, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I used a knife that my wife cut onions like 10 minutes before, I didn't know, and I cut like an apple with it. Like mamash, you taste the onion, and it was clean. No, it wasn't clean. It was there. You know what I'm talking about? That taste of onion. The Gemara always talks about. We're not going into that now. But what fruit did I use as a simon, as a taste? And I say, oh, I could taste it, or I can't taste it. There's 60 times more, or 50 times more, but I can't taste it. I'm going to use ki'ilu. It's an onion, because the onion is pretty sharp, but it's not the sharpest thing in the world. But it's not a sweet thing. It's like it's fine. It has a nice kick to it. So these two fruits over here, the kafloit and a bottle. I don't know, how do you say kafloit in English? Leek. Very good. Leek. Very good. At least that's what it shows in the picture. I don't understand. Why don't you use a hot pepper? Like the time that my father-in-law gave me that hot pepper, I almost went to the hospital. He gave me, and they use it like these things. 1 million, what is it called? Anybody know the name? Scoville. 1 million Scoville. 2 million Scoville. Yeah, regular pepper's 1, 2, 3. But I got a pepper that's 1 million. You chop what's going on there. It could literally put a hole through your tongue. So if you put this little hot pepper in a giant pot, what happens? And this pepper is, let's say, Arla, Revai, Chvaisos. The whole thing becomes, you can't get out of it, because no matter whoever tastes it is going to taste the little pepper. So why are you using an onion? Use pepper. Says the Gemara, no. Even 1,000 times the amount of the pepper is not bottled. All these surim in the Torah, you have blood, you have this, that. Nothing is severe as an onion. Onion is the strongest taste. You don't have to go crazy to 1 million Scoville, 2 million Scoville. How much Scoville is the onion, I wonder? 10, 15. Yeah, okay. See, you almost didn't come to the shiur tonight. It's a mazah you came. I would have been stuck here. These Hasidim, you think they know what Scoville is?
I don't have my phone, so I don't know the AI.
Yeah, everybody's phone is off. Omer Nachman gid b'shishim ve'in gid min haminyan. So if I'm counting, this is not a chiddush at all, right? Here, look at this. You have the gid laying on there on the top of the pot. You need 60 times the amount of chont versus the one gid, not 59. In other words, you can't use the gid as the 60. What would be the havamina b'chlal? Gid is osir, the chont is mutter. So the havamina is not so much the havamina, but the next case. Not this case. Okay. The same thing with the egg, but here's a morid sugya. This is super interesting. There's something called a kchal. I don't know how to say it in English, like an udder. Yeah, but it's the whole the Akash Baruch Hu made that, we know cow makes milk. We drink the milk. Here, take a look at this. That's all our artists did this from scratch. Yeah, it's not a joke. I asked for it and I got it. Okay, what's going on here? We have basar b'chalav here, basically. This is the real basar b'chalav. But you're allowed to eat the udder. You're allowed to eat the kchal if you take out the milk. But what if you don't take out the milk? What if you cooked the kchal with the milk? Yeah. What if you cooked it inside? So what are you going to do? So says the Gemara like this: you need 60 times. You're allowed to eat the kchal. I want to eat kchal. It's good stuff. I can't afford a steak. I eat kchal. By mistake, my wife didn't chop. She didn't cut it the way she's supposed to. Cut it this way, that way. Squeeze out the milk. She put it into the pot like this. So if I have 60 times the amount of kchal than milk, then I'm okay. But over here, the kchal is a good thing. It's a good guy. I want to eat him. So I can use him as part of the 60. Before, we were talking about the gid. I don't want to eat the gid. The gid is a bad guy. So the gid can't be part of the 60. I need 60 good people, good things, 60 good pieces of meat. So obviously the gid is not going to be one of them. But over here, I need 60 good pieces of meat, and the kchal is a good piece of meat. So meila, kchal, b'shishim, kchal min aminyan. Does he have a picture here? Yeah. Here's the kchal. But that's, let me stop for a second, because the Gemara explains in a second. Beitza, what about an egg? The same thing as a gid. You have an egg of a eagle, a tamei bird that fell into a whole pot of, these Moroccans, they make chunk with eggs. 60 kosher chicken eggs, 1 eagle egg. Then it's okay, but not 59 eggs. You can't use the non-kosher egg as one of the 60. He's the bad guy. I need 60 good guys. Almost done here. Only like 6 more lines. You should know that the kchal itself you're not allowed to eat. Why? Because the kchal, listen to this, the kchal itself has some milk in it, and you cooked it in a big pot with other meat. The flavor of the meat goes into the milk that's in the kchal. And when I eat my kchal, I'm going to eat milk that has a little flesh in it. And that's a problem. Here's a video. I hope you can understand it from this video. Yoshi did this. The milk kind of goes out over here, and there's meat over there that becomes also fine. But the flavor of the meat goes back into the milk that's in the kchal. And memela, I can't eat the kchal. So says the Gemara, and if this piece of kchal, this piece that you see over here, that's the white piece, this guy, if it falls into another pot with other meat, it's also. Omer Rav Ashi, Kavinu be Rav Kahana, Iboilon, so Rav Kahana asked, Kimisharinon, when I check out this bottle b'shishim, something 60, b'didei b'sharinon, do I look at the meat part of the kchal of the udder, or I look at the milk? What do I need 60? Sharina. Says, well, pshita b'didei b'sharinon. Obviously, I look at the meat of the kchal, because if I'm going to look at the milk that comes out of it, how do I know how much milk left the kchal? In other words, the milk comes out, and I don't know how much it is in there. If all the milk came out of this udder, so then why is the kchal itself also? It all came out. So the Gemara, I'll tell you why. Once we establish that the kchal itself is also, so it said, you're right, it's a Issa Rabbanan. Rabbanan said that this kchal has a halacha of a nevela,
Rabboisai, have a wonderful day.